Ninyong mag-Facebook, kung kaya ninyong mag-TikTok, mag-Instagram, kaya ninyong panoorin itong vlog na ito, walang dahilan na hindi nyo kakayanin na mag-register online. Katapos ko lang nung aking second dose ng Sinovac. Wala namang side effect. Ang payo ko talaga sa inyong lahat, wag na kayong mamili kung ano yung meron, kunin nyo na.
I just want people to know that getting COVID-19 is not a death sentence. It is something that you can win over. Nobody can visit you, not even your family members. So we were really in isolation. It's a negative pressure room. So my wife and I had video calls almost every hour. She was checking on me to make sure that I've eaten, I have drank enough water for that particular hour. And every time I feel fear, I would immediately call my wife and my daughter just to give me to suspend reality that I was in a hospital. The scariest moment was maybe it started on the fourth day when people who got admitted at the same time as me, they started dying. Early in the morning, you would hear people crying or wailing because they have lost their loved ones. I just want people to know that getting COVID-19 is not a death sentence. It is something that you can win over. You just need to have the right faith, psychological and emotional perspective. I want you to know that once you have symptoms, you need to immediately isolate yourself. There's no way you can take a risk that the elderly or the high-risk groups in your family will get contaminated or will get the virus.
Debate on whether the virus is transmitted through aerosols or only through droplets. There's some confusion here. Help us understand why that's the case, and what is your view on this?
Well, let me just clarify some of the somewhat confusing terminology. So when we talk about aerosol transmission, we talk about it is also equivalent to what we term as airborne transmission. And in these instances, usually the particle size, the virus suspended in the particles is less than 10 micrometers. Whereas when you talk about droplet, they tend to be larger and usually more than 20 micrometers. So what that equates to is that when you have larger size, the distance that they travel is much shorter. And whereas for aerosol or airborne transmission, the distance can be much further. In airborne or aerosol transmission, just the act of breathing out could transmit the virus. So airborne or aerosol can infect people both short and long distances, whereas the droplet transmission is only short distances. So truly the bottom line is that only with numerous published studies will we be able to truly determine whether this nCoV is truly just droplet or airborne transmission. I would also caution that sometimes a droplet transmission, that transmission can travel a longer distance in a specific situation. For example, if there's a gust of wind, and so there are some environmental factors that may make even a droplet transmission go a much further distance than what we would expect. So I suppose the short answer is we don't know for sure, but our focus is mainly on droplet transmission.